1, 2, there we go. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. You guys got 2 thumbnails, which I normally don't do, because I picked one. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great, and I looked, I was like, what the fuck is that thumbnail doing up there? But 2 to 3 hours, maybe even 4 hours ago, we got the brief spoilers, I do believe. So I remember I woke up and it was like right after, what time? Yeah, just like almost 4 hours ago, we got these brief spoilers straight from PewPeace. Thank you, PewPeace, for uploading these on Twitter and on Instagram. And this chapter, 1181, is fucking phenomenal. Like, everything has been building. We knew shit was gonna hit the fan when Emu came to Elbaf, and like, first when the Goro said, like, Lord Emu-sama, you can't leave Mary Joa, because like, what's gonna happen to us? That's all they worried about. But Emu left. Mary Joa went to Elbaf because they was talking shit, talking too much shit. The Emu was like, okay, motherfucker, like, you know, I gave you a pass. I gave you all this time to go ahead and get shit done the way I wanted to, in a nice, orderly fashion. Y'all didn't want to do that, so I'm gonna have to come and lay some dick down. And so last chapter, we got to see Emu step in and handle Zoro and Sanji. Now, Zoro and Sanji just got a big-ass boof. We just heard from Scott Gaban that Zoro has the same Conqueror's Haki that Luffy does. He just doesn't have control of it yet. Nothing was said to Sanji, but Sanji's got an exoskeleton, the blue-flamed Ifrit Jambre. And, I mean, he took a shot straight to the face from S Shark. He kind of held his own when Nosujuro kind of kicked that motherfucker in the head. So, I'm not saying too much. I'm just saying I think Sanji's got it too. We just haven't confirmed it. And so this chapter comes with more great news, because we saw a standoff last time. The standoff was with our boy, Prince, half king, Loki of Elbaf. And Emu was like, who is your king? And I'm here to basically avenge my fallen friend here, Harold. And Loki's like, nigga, I'm here to avenge my daddy, Harold. I'm the one that had to put him down because of your bullshit. So we start here. Amazing. Chapter 1181. These are the brief spoilers for One Piece. And this is your, before we get into this, this is your place to go for all One Piece content weekly, from the live reads, brief spoilers, full spoilers, and TCB scans. But before we start, let's go ahead and give a shout out and some love to sponsors of the stream. IMU'S.com, IMMIEats.com. Use promo code EDGE2G to get $5 off your purchase of the world's first high protein, high fiber, plant-based, low sodium, low carbohydrate ramen. They have 6 different flavors. You can buy these in stores, but order them online. You'll get $5 off by using the promo code. Black garlic chicken, tom yum shrimp. We even have spicy beef, spicy red miso, creamy chicken, and a roasted pork tonkatsu. The other sponsor that allows me to do this show for you free each and every week, Switcheries.com. If you like Nintendo Switches, whether it's Switch, the first version, second version, LED, OLED, light, whatever it is, you come here, your accessories, thumb grips, cases, you just click on which one you want. You look at what they have. Here's the cases, their anime and video game theme cases. Here's a Kirby theme, Pikachu and Bulbasaur, Mario theme, Hello Kitty. All you have to do is find one that you like. Use promo code EDGE10 to get 10% off your purchase at checkout. And you can liven up your Nintendo Switch. All right, done with that. Let's get back to it. Brief spoilers. We're into this. 1181. We got to get to this. Chapter title is God. Not good, but God and Devil. So we've heard that Elbaf has 2 gods, a good god and a bad god. Now we have the devil fruit user, or his devil fruit is devil fruit, if we would, like kind of like juicy fruit Emu. And it says the chapter focused on Loki and Emu. Loki tries to crush Emu with Ragnir, the hammer form of Ragnir, but Emu stops Ragnir with a huge black flame, another Maki that he's been using. So it seems like, and what I've comprehended from native Japanese speakers, is Maki is stronger than Haki. It is another form. It is more so the source of Haki, or has another derivative. But we both see Luffy and Imu, not Loki, but Luffy and Imu being able to liberate spirits based off of that source that comes from within them. When we see Luffy transform to Gear 5, there's always a yellow bolt of Haki that comes out with the red and the black. I think that is not the previous Joy Boys, but Nika's essence within the devil fruit. And because mythical Zoans have a will of their own, Nika is a living will. And whatever Imu has, that devil comes from the ancient devil that that Otis said a long time ago used to rule the world, and now there's someone taking his place. That power comes from that ancient devil, which is inhabiting and taking over Imu, along with Imu's piss-ass attitude. So we see the Black Flame stop Ragnir. That means Ratataskar Ragnir are of no fucking consequence to Imu. It only worked on Gimu when he was possessed. Imu increases the size of his body and now is almost the same size as Loki. Now here's my thing. If Imu can increase the size, my number one deal is like Imu's a Lunarian. Increasing the size of the body could be a part of the devil fruit. Second theory, if he's not a Lunarian and a hybrid of all the countries except for Vivi's, which Alabasta the sign and form the treaty, he can manipulate his body to any race's size, any culture size. Now, I said this about Luffy. We see Luffy going to Gear 3, getting real small, changing shape and form. I think Gear 5 allows him to be whatever race he wants to. If it's about liberation and cooperation, we have not seen yet what it is. But the other thing that I thought of is Imu is an ancient giant, but the devil fruit allows him to be human form and to be whatever that silhouette is. Maybe that conserves his strength. Maybe that his body being off of Elbaf still holds, some kind of remnants with time, because as we see, Imu's hurrying through, whooping ass on Elbaf. Mary Joie is in the shits right now. There's some kind of warning about staying on Elbaf too long. What's going on? We will find out once we get the full spoilers and the official this week. TCB scans will go ahead and give us some more texture, but we won't know the official until Sunday. So we continue. Imu creates a giant sword after he transforms. He's almost the same size as Loki. He creates a giant sword named Nemesis, similar to Mihawk's sword, and it pierces Loki's chest. Imu uses the same sword attack as Mihawk. So if they're trying to say it's a black blade, it's a black blade. Same attack as Mihawk. Let's see which one exactly it is. If he's almost the same size, is it the same one that Zoro got stabbed with in the chest with a knife? It says, Imu explains that humanity's desire for power, and this is in quotes, power, leads to corruption, and that is to easily obtain that power, humans must make pacts. And when these three things come together, domination arises. So power, the desire for power, whether it's to overcome evil or just to have status, waffle. That's one thing. Leads to corruption. Waffle's corrupt. But then if you make a pact with Lord Imu-sama and they all come together, domination arises. That means if Imu has these three things from a person, he has dominion over them, which is probably the source of Domi Reversi. The person has to want to obtain power, whether to overcome Imu. I'm thinking in those moments that Imu's just sticking them directly with his black stick, or some kind of injustice or someone in their life. Then they must be corrupt. And if Domi Reversi takes hold of their soul, that is the corruption, which leads to some form of a pact. Now, it's not a verbal pact like the Knights of God and Harold and them did. You got the pack one, the surface level deep sea contract and deep sea, all that shit. This is just if it touches your soul and it wavers and liberates you to the opposite thinking, to corruption, then you can be controlled by Imu. That's my theory based off what we've seen and everything that's been said so far. Loki says he won't submit to anyone, but Imu replies that true happiness only comes under domination, because like all of the other ones, Imu can hear their thoughts. Imu can talk to him. You cannot resist Imu's will. So if you're doing what Imu-sama wants, you will be happy, because this is what's best for the world. Then Imu remembers JoyBoy, and it says, still shadowed in the flashback, it seems that they were friends. And suddenly Imu shouts very angrily, "Isn't that right, JoyBoy?" So JoyBoy couldn't be liberated. Imu is in the Elbaf drip, but what if Imu is an ancient giant from Elbap, and he was a part of the first pirates, which was JoyBoy. And Imu could not ascertain his dream by being free on the seas. He needed to control everything. So after Imu yells, "Isn't that right, JoyBoy?" Loki attacks Imu and embeds him into the Atom Tree. Then Loki changes to his dragon form, the big ass Nidhogg, and shoots a Thorfenheim right at fucking Imu. But the chapter ends with Lord Imu smiling after receiving Loki's attack. And Imu says, "So, you have returned." And then the chapter ends and we are on break next week. So you have returned. I think Luffy's going to show up at the end of this chapter. Loki may hit him. Imu may do something. Luffy steps in and saves Loki. There's a bond between Loki and Luffy even more. But Luffy is going to say some shit that reminds Loki of Davy D. Zebek. I can guarantee it, because everybody that Luffy's come in contact with, that had contact with someone in Luffy's life, whether it's Garp, Shanks, Roger, they have heard quotes and phrases from him. It's like, oh shit, that's my nigga. That's the motherfucker that I used to rock with. Luffy, I'm with you. I think that's what's going to happen to Loki. Loki is still going to try to avenge his dad, but he's going to trust Luffy, because I think Imu, that stab in the chest and something else, is going to fuck Loki up. I don't know if it's going to dummy reverse him, but Luffy's going to have to step in and get Imu out of there. And then Loki's going to have to join them somehow. I want to see this hybrid form, but I don't give a fuck. Loki's big as fuck. Hybrid form, he has to be able to shrink down, or what if he gets even bigger? And the dragon form is a liability because, well, I don't know how the mythic Zoan power affects Imu, but he can get shit cut off just like Stanson and Gerd. So it could happen to anybody, but the bigger you are, the easier it is. And Luffy most likely is in giant form right now. So this is going to be an interesting fight. Seeing Luffy fight as a giant the entire time, not just, throwing a punch or lighting a bolt or shit like that. He's going to be fighting side by side with Loki, making another connection, another friend, somebody that's going to be a part of the Grand Fleet or a part of the Straw Hats. And we're going to see Imu get down, but Imu's already fighting at a deficit. Imu's away from Mary Joa. Imu is fighting after spitting up blood. Imu just wants to get his 3 niggas back. He just gave some omens. Oman, because omen is not how we think of it. And I'll break this down in another one. Omen is 2 different words put together. It's not just a dark omen. Omen holds a source of power. And we saw that with St. Somers and Killingham, bringing them back. They have the deal around their back and shit, the black flame around their back. They're excited. They're yelling. They have just got power boosts. So now we have Imu. St. Somers and Killingham came up, and Gimu just got shot. We don't know if she got blown out of the ice or Imu was just injuring her because she was getting her consciousness back. But we will see in 1182. Let's finish up 1181. We'll see the full spoilers hopefully tomorrow or Thursday, and then the TCB scans. Then we'll have the official on Sunday. So make sure to turn on your notifications. Stay right here for all of your anime needs. Edge 2 Otaku. This is a subsidiary of Edge 2 Gaming. So Edge 2 Gaming is everything like God of War, Dragon Ball. Well, anime video games will be here on Edge 2 Otaku. All other video games, Edge 2 Gaming, along with manga, watch parties, and reactions for anime and manga right here. Turn on your notifications. Follow on twitch.tv/Edge 2 Gaming. I'm Elijah 5000. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Leave your predictions and thoughts in the descriptions below, and we'll talk about them next episode. See you guys. Peace.